I first heard about Nicro through my lawyer, and he explained the whole procedure of aiming for a diversion. I guess the scary part is none of these. It's not like an established procedure, so you can't apply from it from the get-go. You kind of have to cooperate and hope that the prosecutor is willing to offer you this opportunity. But it's an established kind of way of doing things. It's just not official.
What did the Nicro program involve exactly? Sort of break it down for us, like what you've been doing the last few months.
It started with a 5-session course on rehabilitation, basically. So that covered everything from learning about the rules of the road, again, since doing my driving course. It was about accident statistics. It was about the effects of alcohol and substances on driving, the effects of emotions, your emotional state on driving. Substances just put you in a certain state. You can reach that state if you have a fight with someone, if something sad happens, if you're overexcited. So it really just put into perspective how dangerous driving can be and how inconsiderate we are when we drive. Well, I was. And in general, people don't think that much about driving because they do it every day and they become desensitized towards it. So yeah, 5 sessions of 2 hours, which was really interesting, and there was a bunch of people that had also been arrested and given an option for diversion. So just discussing with them, being honest and open about decisions and things. And that just changes your perspective entirely on the situation. From a me, I can justify my behavior perspective to there's certain ways that things work that you can't change. That's the law. And then there's also things that you're unaware of that make your situation dangerous and dangerous to other people, like your emotions and your consumption of substances. And
how exactly has it changed your perspective and your outlook on drinking and driving and the way you relate to family and friends that are perhaps still guilty of drinking and driving?
Well, in general, so it's changed my outlook on drinking and driving and the way that I relate to people around me in terms of drinking and driving. In many ways, it doesn't start at drinking and driving, it starts at driving dangerously. And that's being aware, firstly, of my emotional state when I climb into a car, calming down, realizing that there's no point cutting people off, getting upset while driving aggressively. It's just putting myself at risk and it's making me more frustrated. So just driving at the speed limit, basically, wherever I go. If I catch myself, not concentrating, then bringing back my focus to what I'm doing and driving. And it's actually much more enjoyable to drive present in what you're doing and not be daydreaming, not be frustrated, and so on. I've actually stopped drinking altogether, just because it was causing other problems in my life and with my relationships. And that's fantastic. That's just been great. I stopped, drinking and driving immediately after getting arrested. So yeah, it's changed. The whole experience really has changed my life in many ways. It's part of other changes that I'm going through as well. But it was a very, very explicit, like, this happened because of your behavior and your attitude. So it was a very clear-cut, defined thing that definitely happened to me because of the way I was behaving. And deciding not to keep justifying what I was doing or finding reasons, why I thought it was okay, has helped me to now start looking at other things in my life which I thought were okay and which I justified, which were actually just upsetting me and making me into not a very nice person. So in terms of how that relates to other people, people like me more and I have more fun and I'm less upset and angry and frustrated. I'm more successful in everything that I do now. I'm healthier. It just changes everything around, really.
Okay. Were it not for Nicro, what would the alternative have been? What kind of sentence were you potentially looking at?
I was I'm not really sure. I mean, I don't know. I guess maybe the lightest I could have gotten away with was the prosecution could have settled out of court that I pay some kind of a fine and they drop the case. I don't think that they want to send first-time offenders who haven't done, caused a massive accident or something away. I mean, they don't want to give people criminal records. They want people to change. But worst case scenario, I mean, I could have gone to jail. I think I could have paid up to 15,000 Rand fine. And I could have had a criminal record, which makes traveling very hard and getting a job very hard. Yeah. And I mean, it's, just drive through one stop street a little bit over, or a lot over the limit on an abandoned road, and it could mess up the rest of your life. So that's possibly what would have happened if Nicro wasn't an option. If they had just given me a fine and let it go away, I might not have been forced to try out rehabilitation or recovery, not have been forced to look at my faults, not have been forced into a situation where I'm seeing other people, gaining that perspective. So it might not have changed my life around. And yeah, that's more important to me. So what message would I give people about driving during the holiday season? If you're not going to drink and drive, then watch out for people who are drinking and driving. Watch out for people who are caught up in the madness and not checking their blind spots, who are going through stop streets. I mean, in the last week, I've already had 2 people go straight through a red light and almost take me out. I think it's just that time of year. So watch out for those people. If you are going to drink and drive, then you're not thinking. And you're not respecting yourself, and you're not respecting those around you, and you're not respecting your friends and your family, because you're not taking responsibility. And respecting yourself and people around you, the community, and your friends and family is about taking responsibility for yourself. And then you don't deserve respect as a person, because you have to earn respect, and you get what you give, right? So just think it through, consider what's going to happen. If I take an Uber, it's going to cost me 20 to 100 Rand to get home. If I drive, even if I get into an accident that I didn't cause and I'm under the influence, I go to jail, possibly. I kill people, possibly. Yeah, and I mess up the rest of my life because I didn't want to pay 20 to 100 Rand to get home.